You're probably thinking a backyard rink costs $2,000 or $3,000. That's what I thought too, and I almost didn't build it. Turns out, I built this entire rink for $513 in year one. Today, I'm breaking down every single dollar I spent over 3 years, including the upgrades and the one thing I have to replace every season. If you're researching whether you can afford to build a rink, this video will show you exactly what it costs. No hidden expenses, no surprises. You're doing the smart thing by watching this first. Let's get into some real numbers. Here's exactly what we'll be covering today. First, I'll walk you through my year one costs, that initial investment to build a 20-foot by 40-foot rink. I'll show you every component you're seeing in this rink and tell you what it costs. Then, year two, what I had to replace, what carried over from year one, and where I spent money to improve things. This is the real-world maintenance cost you need to know about. Year 3. I expanded to 28 feet by 40 feet. I'll show you exactly what that upgrade cost me. So this is my third season with this exact rink. The boards you're seeing, structure, hardware, it's all from year 1. 3 winters, still going strong. By the end of this video, you'll know if building your rink makes financial sense for your family. Let's start with year number 1. The big initial investments and what it bought me. In year 1, I built a 20-foot by 40-foot rink. That's 800 square feet of skating surface. Plenty of room for my 3 young boys to skate, practice hockey, and have friends over. Here's every single item I bought. The boards. You're going to need to buy 4 sheets of 3/4 inch, 4 feet by 8 feet pressure treated plywood. Rip those the long way to make your 12-inch sections of 8 feet long. Those cost me $192 total dollars. Using this style of boards is your main money-saving technique. Commercial boards can easily cost 10 times this amount. And I'm standing here 3 years later to tell you that they work perfectly. No warping, no rot, no failure. The key is pressure treated. Alright, board support. I just used 2-inch by 2-inch by 2 feet wooden spikes. You gotta use those to support all the water and the weight that is going to be pushing up against your plywood boards. Also, to start when setting up the rink, I use metal framing plates to help join them together. And then also in the corners, you're going to need some more support. So double up the spikes, wooden spikes over there, as well as I picked up some corner plates. You're going to want those corner plates to help secure the corner as more water and more weight will be placed in the corners. The liner. This is one of the most critical pieces of equipment. It's the one thing that I do replace every single year. So this first year I spent $132 on a 24-foot by 45-foot liner. This is 6 mil thickness, so definitely thick enough to hold the gallons of water that are going to be in it without tearing it. The liner is not something that you want to cheap out on. You don't want to get a tarp or anything like that. And then make sure the liner is white. You don't want to get a dark colored liner because that will just attract the sun and attract the heat and melt your ice faster. Now, water. You're probably wondering how much the water bill is to fill up your rink. And honestly, I was completely surprised at how little it actually cost me to fill my 20-foot by 40-foot rink. At the end of the day, it was about $40 extra just to fill the rink. Lighting. So you have to get lighting. You know, in the winter, the days are short. You know, it gets dusk about 5 p.m. Most of our skating that we do happens at night. So I've just bought this simple $25 LED floodlight off Amazon. You know, it's a total game changer. I'm fortunate enough to put the rink by some trees. Pros and cons to that I can explain in a later video. I strung it up over the trees so the light is right in the center of the rink. And it does the job, but we are looking to upgrade lights next year. So year one, grand total, $513. What happened in year two? Year two was a lot cheaper because I already had the majority of my hardware. The boards, structure, hardware, it all carried over. The largest year two cost was, of course, the new liner. It was actually on sale, or I don't know what was going on, but it was $30 cheaper. So it only cost me $100 for year two. Same size, same thickness, white one. So that was a nice surprise. Year two, we also wanted to level out the yard a little bit because we learned from year one that it was a little more uneven than I anticipated. So we did rent a tiller for about $25 and tilled up some of the high spots, moved the dirt over to the low spots, so we had to include that $25 tiller rental. So total came, plus the $40 for water again to fill, about $165 for year two because we reused everything. Year three, we made a decision. The kids are getting bigger, better at skating. We're flying around the rink. We got the neighborhood kids coming over, families coming over. We just want a little bit more room, and we're fortunate enough to have some extra space in the backyard. So we expanded 8 feet wider. We went 28 by 40 feet. So the new liner totaled up to about $140. And then we also, during the summer, we brought in 2 truckloads of dirt to help level out the larger area. So that was just about, $70 to bring in some dirt. A few other upgrades. We did upgrade to a flexible hose to use for our resurfacing, was about $50. The year three total, about $290. One bonus about the rink increase in size, I had some extra wood from a garage workbench project that I finished up that summer that was just laying in the garage. That made the decision to go bigger on the rink easier because I already had the materials sitting in the garage. So here's what a few $100s over 3 years has bought my family. 3 winters of skating whenever we want to, lots of hockey practice in the backyard, family time after dinner, neighborhood kids, family, cousins coming over. Really lasting memories that we'll talk about for years. Here are the 3 most important things to remember. Number 1, biggest cost is going to be the first initial year. $500 to get started with all the wood and the materials. After that, you're looking at whatever essential upgrades that you want to do each year. And that honestly is the fun part, because I'm always thinking of, what else can I improve? What can I make the experience a little bit better for next year? Number 2, everything except the liner is reusable. Boards, brackets, everything. They should last, we're on year 3, I'm thinking another 5 to 10 years of use on these things. One key thing, keep the boards in the garage outside of the elements during the summer. That will help the longevity. If this breakdown helped you figure out whether you can afford to build a rink, and I sure hope it did, hit that subscribe button. I'm putting out a new backyard rink tutorial every couple weeks this winter. Everything from flooding techniques to troubleshooting problems. Drop a comment below and let me know, what's your budget for a backyard rink? And actually, what's holding you back from building one? Coming up next, I'm going to give you a complete tour of my setup, how everything's built, how it all connects, and the design decisions that make this work. You'll want to watch out for that one. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your rink, and I'm rooting for you.